So looking at the pods, we've got the pods here. Pod 1 is Brian Tweedy, who is on Xerox. Brian Hockey, who is on, you'd think I would remember.
Paradoxical.
Who's on Paradoxical. Jeff, who we just saw, is on Survival. And Shane, who is on Moonstompy. What match do you like out of that? Like, what do you want to see out of that?
Wait, who's playing who?
Of these, well, we're playing round robin. So which of those?
Oh yeah, those. Okay, so we already saw Jeskai versus Survival. I think that just based on who is piloting them, I think Tweedy versus Hockey is going to be a good matchup. But I feel like we should at some point have the Moonstompy deck on camera, just because like.
I would like the Moonstompy deck against pretty much anyone. Moonstompy's fucking cool. Maybe against Survival?
Yeah.
Turning off
Bizarre seems really solid.
It's really good. In the second pod, we have Aaron on White Eldrazi, Ben Kendrick on, we call it Just Guys Xerox, truly more Statcaster. Patrick Vincent on Paradoxical, which we just saw, and Brian Hockey on Paradoxical. What do you like out of that to see? Not two ships passing the night on Paradoxical.
Yeah, probably not.
Unless, well, I guess one of them is running Tinker, and it's always fun to see, oh, you have a monk that's very cute. We did assign these randomly. I'm not super interested in any of these matches, actually. I kind of want to just be on pod 1 all day.
Yeah.
Stacked now in the pod.
I mean, we have a duplicate matchup in the R2 that Ben plays Patrick. That's the same as Tweedy versus Hockey.
So I think we want to see whatever the Moonstompy deck is. We're going to go to pairings. We will be back in just a moment while we get all of those figured out.
It's going to be
well, it looks like we actually already have it. It is Brian Hockey on Paradoxical versus Ben on what, again, we call it Xerox, and I think it's
Snapcaster Control is better. That's definitely a better name for it.
There's a trash can right there. Everything gets recycled anyway. Yeah.
But I'm waiting for them to come. Gone away.
Yeah, dude, I'm not the tournament organizer. I'm just here to drink beer and make fun of people for their bad plays. Yeah. Oh no, we were talking about how we want to watch you play. Looks like I'm gonna adjust these names. I'll let you look at that, and if you have anything you want to talk about.
My understanding of how, at least from the Paradoxical side of this type of matchup, or maybe I'm misremembering, you definitely have to find the right time to go off against like a blue deck. You have to find the hole in like their shields, basically.
And Ben has a mana drain. Mana drain on Paradoxical is
yeah, definitely.
How many Hurkyl's Recall are you playing? I love Hurkyl's Recall as a counter to Paradoxical. Sure, your Paradoxical results, all your artifacts are already. That sounds like an incorrect one.
He's definitely looking for like Stony Silence, a Braid. Pretty solid. He's got 2 Wear Tears. Moat doesn't seem to do much here. For the grindier cards that he's got, Jace Prince Prodigy, Searcher's Canta could help out, but ultimately they might be too slow. I do like those cards though. Probably Ben is just going to be trying his best to like just react efficiently, and I don't know, like.
And Patrick is going to be doing his best to play a large number of spells on the same turn.
Yes. Flusterstorm is an important card here, for Ben especially, I think. Has 3 on the board. Just throw on the board. Just looking at these lists, I mean, I don't really know. I'm probably wrong, but it seems like Paradoxical maybe should be favored. All things equal pilot skill. Oh gosh, we're talking about Brian Hockey and Ben here, not.
How did I flip them? We are Brian Hockey.
Yeah, I thought I thought we were talking about Patrick.
We are.
We are.
I missed the wrong one.
Oh, we had the wrong list.
But it's still Paradoxical.
Yeah.
I
Well, their
grabbed,
lists
I
differ
grabbed
a little bit. Okay, here we
the
go.
no tinker actually will matter a fair bit.
Sure.
Ben, by the way, is playing with the Season 1 Lone Star Lorboys Invitational plan.
I wonder, did I sign that one?
You were not in the invitation, I don't think.
Oh, this is a Houston event.
Yeah, so these are, you see the name, the stuff running up and down the sides. Is every time you win, you get to sign it, and you get it for the next 2 weeks until the next event. And some people did, like you see a story. And some people got artists to sign.
Nice bit of Lone Star Lorboys lore there.
And you can see, actually, we got a Lorboy done by the Goy father there in the center.
Wait, who's the Goy father?
Who did Lorboy.
Did Lorboy? That's
His
awesome.
name just immediately escaped me as soon as we started thinking about it.
Signature. That's really awesome, though.
You have 50 minutes, you may begin. You're going first, starting the game with fewer points than the other guy. Generally not a good strategy. It's an underground C. Couldn't see what was in either of their hands. They're both playing it quite close to them.
Like a preordainer or a ponder, maybe. It's pretty common in first play for Paradoxical.
Pretty common first play in Legacy, too.
Why did you do that?
Come on, man, that's what I was trying to do.
It appears to be pondering quite hard. Makes me wonder if he's pondering.
I mean, gotta make sure you do it right. Especially with no information. Well, except he does know it.
Yeah, they do know each other's
They know the deck.
They have access in between rounds
Games.
and matches.
Okay.
Rounds and games. Not during.
Definitely.
That became relevant at a previous invitational. And someone's like, I think you have this card in the other side where it's really good against me, but I can't remember what it is.
Also could spoil the viewing experience. People just like hold up, play on a piece of paper. Boy, this really is a.
I was about to go give someone a punch in the dick for slow play.
All right, he makes the decision.
Oh, wait.
Nope.
Wait.
Nope.
Cheating. Judge.
Do these players know that this match is being broadcast on the internet? I think they do.
That's a 90-second ponder.
Oh boy. All right. Starting timer.
The Library of Alexandria and a brainstorm off of Preordained.
He's got a Force of Will. He's got a Red Blast. A
I don't-
Probe. A Mox.
I believe every card that we can see currently is signed.
Yeah, I think that's
He actually,
Ben's MO.
he actually
he's
borrowed a
signed.
different version of a card he already owned.
Just so we can have it signed.
Ben just plays the Ruby and passes the check back. There's a polluted Delta, and passing back
Pass.
is a very slow game of vintage. There's the Library of Alexandria. Ben left his stack exactly as. Doesn't have a lot to do right now.
Good look at his hand. He's got a Probe.
Probe Force,
Yeah.
Red Blast. There's the Probe. We'll see Patrick's hand.
Got Mind's Desire, Lotus, Opal, Sonic Tutor, Tundra,
and a Paradoxical. You can do a Paradoxical for next turn. Probably not worth.
He's in an awkward spot because the pool isn't turned on.
Oh right, no, so he could only Paradoxical for one because he would be using Lotus.
Yeah,
It seems really bad.
Needs to the card next to the Tundra. That's a Snapcaster.
I think that's a Duress.
Oh no,
Duress. It's a black card.
I think it's smart. It is. It's a black border twice, which is very sweet.
Or approximately.
Yeah, I guess on this term, you never know.
Any estimations of sweetness are automatically suspect.
Well, some of the players have all the stuff like Tweety Stack has no proxies. Stewart has no proxies. I don't think either of these players have proxies.
Ben had to borrow cards, but he is playing no
It's all real cards, yeah. Pretty sure Patrick has it.
Sorry, guys. Go ahead.
It just occurred to me that I don't remember what cards I lent Ben, so I hope he remembers.
Presumably they're the signed ones.
Well, yeah, exactly. Patrick thinking hard. Ben doing my favorite thing, which is putting a die on top of his hand to let us know how many cards. We were actually on the drive up. Ben and I both woke up at 5 o'clock to head up here, talking about the ways in which you can make it easier for the commentators to watch the stream. I suspect he will be doing all of them. There's a Lotus.
And
Ben
a
crossed it off.
repeal on the.
Repeal on the Lotus. Lotus, repeal Lotus. Draw a card.
Yep. That's a very common mode for repeal on the Paradoxical deck. Like it does have that alternate utility where you can use it to bounce your opponent's permanents, but it does cost a lot of mana.
I think that's its primary utility.
Yeah, it's just a.
Well, it's definitely intended to be its primary.
Yeah, Fuel Storm draws a card.
Is
Can be used to generate mana. If
And
you
a deck like this too, a lot of times you can bounce something.
Yeah.
Sweet Blight Steel Grip.
That takes a lot of mana.
You play in Solarian Academy and like 29 artifacts.
The Academy draws out Paradox, so it definitely
Deck
makes
you just
going
play-
off so much easier.
Just play Brain Geyser. There's a Lotus and an Opal Storm Count will go up to 4.
I don't think he has.
Still
any.
can't
He needs
properly
another
Paradox.
artifact. Like honestly, so I played Paradoxical at the last Romancing Stones tournament. I came in dead last. It was just I had no idea what I was doing. I played really badly, but in practicing and just playing the deck, like Mox Opal is like the most annoying card in it sometimes.
Then gets to draw off library. He's drawn a preordain, he'll drew a Mox Emerald.
I think the longer this goes, the more it starts to favor Ben. He's going to be able to develop his resources.
Ben does have a Red Blast in hand.
Yeah, Paradox.
When that Paradox comes, Patrick's going to be very sad. There's a preordain with a dig through time, I believe it was a mist up they put on top. Looks like we might be forceful on top. Ben is in high continence.
Yes. Doesn't have a way to win, but I think
He's at 8 cards, so I would expect to see him play either the Strip Mine or the Emerald. Strip Mine not great here, but it will take out the only win source.
pretty
He'd
good.
obviously prefer to say that for Tolarian, but monks can win quickly, so. And then here's the Emerald.
I think he maybe senses that Patrick is struggling to get all his resources in order, I guess. Land drop. It's like an
Snow-covered
island.
island.
Yeah, snow-covered island.
It matters for Give Son Given. When I first started playing Vintage, most decks played 1 island, 1 snow-covered island.
And Gibson given.
And for Give Son Given, yes, he draws the dig through time for the turn. I'll draw with Library of Alexandria. There's the pre-order. You're gonna see so many cards. A treasure cruise and a sapphire. Looks like sapphire on top, cruise on bottom. And there's the sapphire Ben. No shortage of mana. Which is good. He's playing, I believe, 3 Jace and a Fiery Confluence.
And he's sitting on
Fiery Confluence is 6.
card's crazy. The best interaction I've ever heard of is if your shop's opponent
There's
has
an Abrade on Black Lotus.
Lotus.
Not bad. I mean, it's 2 mana for 3 mana, right?
Notably, Ben cannot red blast. That just lets it go.
Yeah. Patrick, it appears
Quite
crack the
close to
Lotus
that,
for
yeah.
pink.
Yes.
There's blue. Paradoxical himself for 1. You just let that happen. You want to spend 4 mana.
Draw a card.
Not just spend 4 mana. Spend one of your 4 paradoxicals. I don't like all of them. But I guess Patrick is really constrained right now.
Yeah.
And Patrick,
Like, if you had no other options, then I could definitely see you might as well do it. But I feel much better about that if I had another paradoxical. Like,
Ben has now had a fetch and a swords, so he can handle a monk if it comes down. He can handle a paradoxical. He can counter them. He's doing it with both. Patrick plays a fetch for the turn.
drawing a lot of lands.
How many lands does he have?
Like 12 or 14 or something.
They're by types. And his brainstorming, he's got a fetch there, so I believe this will be a skill-intensive perfect brainstorm. Here's a fetch for Ben. The first life that Ben suffers.
He's definitely benefiting greatly from the active library of Alexandria here.
Well, he's had what 3 preordains of brainstorm. He's got a dig in hand.
Here comes the big time.
Gonna exile some cards. Fetch. Hair. Land. Hair. The probe is interesting about keeping because against a combo deck, looks like he's actually choosing to spend some amount of mana off Moxen.
To keep some of the cards.
Because
This is
that
inside, right?
Abrade is still quite strong. This is in his main.
His main.
Playing instants in the main. Standard. And then there's the Force from Patrick.
Fire Blast.
Good thing we kept that
Red
up.
Blast.
Sorry, it's Red Blast. Ben wanted me to note that is an Alpha Sign Red Blast. That's why it's not a Fire Blast.
I believe you mentioned that in our preview the other night.
I mean, if you have it, why would you not say it?
Yeah.
Don't see what exactly he's looking at. He didn't just realize that his lands in his exile pile were dangerously. And that, okay, that wasn't patched in stuff. So Ben will untap. He has all the cards. Mana drain. Oh man.
Yeah, things are just not looking good.
Mana drain.
Oh, he's
Mana
got
drain.
Jace.
Double force. Double blue card. I think he could not play any proactive spells for the rest of the game. So.
Yeah. Library thing.
He's drawing a lot of lands, but on the plus side, there's not a lot of lands left to draw. Here is a J-Tims.
Jeff the Mind Blower.
I would think Fate Seal would be really good. Patrick seemingly drawing dead. Balance and 2 lands. One of them a fetch, so you can fetch away the other 2 lands. What's the balance move? That's interesting. I guess when you're at
I think
7
at this
cards
point,
in hand
yeah.
and a million lands in play.
Only time I've ever cast Balance in a vintage game, my opponent scooped right after.
I strongly recommend balance.
I was definitely gonna lose. My opponent was playing he was playing like blue red he had like Spellstutter Sprites and Vendilion Clicks and Snapcaster Mages, and he just had me down. And then I top decked the Balance and just obliterated his board because I just had nothing. And he's like, let's just go to game 3.
Patrick
That's
is
awesome.
fetched out of snow-covered island. He might just be going for thinning at this point. My best balance was a guy went. There's Patrick with a time log. The guy played like land, Lotus, Ruby, Young Pyromancer, Vulcan. Okay. And then I played every card in my hand, and then I played
A balance.
a balance, and I had no creatures in play.
There you go. Just don't say they can be like Mind Twist, Armageddon.
Then
Wrath
another
of God.
land. I think Ben has seen every land. Snapcaster Mage, Fetch, and Balance. Now let's snap back. Didn't see what he put there. Kept the balance. Looks like he did put away a Fetch. Just discarded the balance to hand size. Oh, unfortunately. And a Knight's Whisper. Pay 2 life. Draw 2 cards. Sign in blood, but a little easier to cast.
It can't be, you can only do it to yourself.
It's true, you cannot target someone. Then librate into Tundra. All the lands, every single one of them.
Like, so around the.
It's like Patrick's passed it back. Ben's gonna do something in this. Here comes the Snapcaster. There's an raid. Doesn't do anything. Snap 2. Snap 2. Oh, baby.
Must be nice.
I think he's fetching to have one less card needing to be actioned.
Or maybe he needed 2 because there were cards left on top from the last Jake's Brainstorm.
Still exile a bunch of cards. Notice Ben specifically did keep a braid in there. He's spending a lot of mana here, and he's fine with this because this is at the end of turn.
Yeah.
It's very unlikely he's going to keep something that he wants to cast. Ben has placed that into a third exile pile. See it.
Confluence, land, preordained, debt.
We're going to ponder, I believe it's search for Azcanta, plow, Jason, Mindstorm, just keeps fiery confluence.
I guess we're playing.
I think that's ponder. Here's good. I don't like the search here.
Yeah, might as well double down. That card is so cool. Like, definitely a good card, but I just really like the design of it. Also lost to it many times. My Miracle's opponent just like gets there. Yeah.
So much better. It's like a Snapcaster for a turn here. And I'm really surprised at this point. Like, he's got so much. I'm still surprised he hasn't started taking Jason. He does have to win the game. So here's the ponder.
Yeah,
That's the card that he borrowed from me because it's more powerful.
sure. Signed, full art, foil.
It's also stamped. At Gen Con 2015, Steve Argyle's hand was broken. So he stamped all the cards that people asked him to sign and then ceremonially destroyed the stamp.
That's awesome.
And I don't know if this is still true, but when I had them signed, he said it was the only double sign in existence of that. think it's pretty neat.
Yeah. Starting hand size.
Discarding to hand size a draw spell. I don't know about that. He could hard cast that at end of turn. Only costs 1. No, he discarded it to hand size and then exiled it to.
Okay.
Paradoxical probe, and I would not be
Scoop?
I would not be shocked to see a scoop on this probe.
Oh my god, dude.
Hello, I have all the answers. There, I have all the answers, and 6 of my answers are signed.
That's
Yeah, can I get a reaction photo for that, please?
that's disgusting.
And as soon as I learn how to clip things in Twitch, we will be clipping this. And I think fans can do that, so if anyone else wants to take that work off my hands, all like 6 of you who are watching. And we appreciate every one of you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us here. The first ever.
Oh, and you know what, Patrick? It looks like paid life for that.
For that probe.
Right, Rexian Menace.
Yeah, his troubles this game have mostly been just didn't get enough artifacts.
He didn't draw anything.
Yeah.
And Ben
Just
drew
lands.
all the answers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Patrick had like turns to like do things, but he just didn't have enough artifacts to really like. Yeah, that
Ben
Monto will
pulled-
just look so bad right
Ben
now.
pulled out the storm counter, and it looks like Patrick was. Nah, you know. I think Patrick played that to hand size. He discarded it into play for hand size. Library of Alexandria will draw a card I can't see. Looks like he's gonna think about casting something. There's another
Snapcaster Mage. He's got a brainstorm. He could abrade.
He's gonna braid the thing that was basically he's like, I'm gonna make it complicated, and you discarded that monster
Yeah.
hand size. This is gonna be really bad trick. Ben draws a blue card for turn. Doesn't matter what it is. It's a blue card. Brainstorm here. Pearl, Snapcaster, I believe, and a Flutterstrand. Couldn't tell what he put back, but I see the Pearl. The Dak as well.
Just like a grip of cards.
There's your 4.
He didn't need to find a way to win the game. He just needed to sit there and just.
Fiery Confluence. I don't even remember all the fucking text.
I was
on this
actually
card. Is this
thinking about
lethal?
looking that up again.
I need to spell Fiery Confluence correctly. I need to spell
Fiery.
Confluence correctly. Okay, you know what? Fuck everything.
There we go.
Choose 2 modes. 2 damage to each opponent. Take Patrick.
Peace.
Yeah, I need to
Yeah.
skip something.
That was a pretty long game 1.
Yeah, we're at 27 minutes in the round. Let's talk about sideboards. Oh, hey, that scoreboard is way too big. Which one would you like to talk about first?
I think Patrick's sideboarding is more interesting. Definitely has some good things here. I like the Karn. Like that card is just that card's crazy.
Yeah, every time I see this card, I think, I don't know what that card does. I read them like, yeah, I should probably buy this.
I know they're so expensive though. They're like $20 to $30.
Very cool art too.
Yeah, it's a really good looking Magic card. I think I personally think. Yeah, just like a classic, iconic character. So yeah, Karn, he's only got 1 of, but I think it's pretty good.
The Rumor would be very strong.
Yeah.
That would be triggering a lot, especially in this last game.
And I feel like the fluster starts probably come in
Oh, of course.
just to
If your opponent is playing counter magic.
yeah. That's about it. Like maybe the My Big Trap, but I think that's maybe more for like other storm decks.
Yeah. So what comes out?
So this is when I tried to play this deck. I was always like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the curse of combo decks. Maybe Hercules Recall because you're not playing it. So
Yeah.
you need to protect them.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm trying to think what kind of decks you would actually want to use for, because Hercules can sometimes be like a combo enabler as well, like where it can at least generate mana for you.
But I think that tends to be in places where you're already short on mana.
Yeah.
What about Ben, who did not play Fair Magic that game?
So he definitely brings in Fluster Storm, probably 2 Pyroblasts, Stony Silence. He probably is cutting Swords to Plowshares.
We discussed this earlier. I kind of like, you got 2 swords, I kind of like cutting the 2 swords and bringing in 1 moat to make up for it. For the mentors.
Yeah.
Like, it gives you an out to the mentors without having dead space on 2 swords. You're not casting 2 swords.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not. I mean, you do have, you even just cut 1 sword because you do have Snapcaster range.
The balance is also super sweet.
Yeah.
You made 28 guys and drew 29 cards. Yeah, they're.
I can see him cutting like the Search for Escanta.
Search is a little slow.
Same as maybe Jace for Inch Prodigy. But what is that card? What does the Planeswalker side of that card even do?
Man, we're gonna get to explore if Sam knows how to look up the backside of cards.
I think this site lets you transform.
No, there's a transform button.
Yeah, dude, Skyfall is so good.
Hold on,
It's
can I get a whoop?
That's
whoop?
so cool.
Oh man, high production values on whatever website we just stole the image from.
Oh yeah. So this card.
+1 does nothing.
Snapcaster mode is solid. Yeah. Emblem.
Honestly,
It's another win
the old hair wins the game.
Yeah, it definitely
But
does.
yeah, it's Snapcaster mode.
I think that's still like a board out though because
it's very slow.
the emblem is the only thing that's good.
And it's slower than Snapcaster.
And you can only do it main phase, so you can't like do a Fluster Storm off of it or something. Which is like I think Fluster Storm is like one of the most important cards.
Believe me, you will know when the camera makes me unhappy. Yes, one of my wish list items for our streaming is sandbags for the camera mount.
I think Fire Confluence probably stays in.
It's just so good.
It's just a board. It can be a board wipe against a deck that usually you don't have board wipes against.
But it's one of those cards that's just like, why is this card good? It's like, it just has so much text on it. It's just like, anytime people talk about what is your favorite Tinkerbot, I'm like, Space of the Steel Wind. Like, show me a single word on that card that isn't awesome.
Right.
That's the one. You found the one.
From protection from.
Oh, I gave both of them a win, which would be inaccurate. There we go. Fix that up.
Alright, starting off. I think I'm different now for you a little bit. As my breath stagnifies.
Oh, Patrick,
Mental
preordained
misstep.
into a mental misstep. Phyrexian, and then it strikes again. Yeah, we're gonna next time have a ticker of just like things that people in Vintage hate.
Yeah.
Like misstep was casted this many times. Probably a ponder here. There's the ponder.
More chairs for that.
There's a ruby. Does he have a land? Did I not see?
Appears not.
He's kept a no-lander. Why not?
5 cards in hand. Thank you, Ben.
Just fucking cycling time long. Just $1,000 to draw.
Yep.
More than that. just really just drawn nothing since we've been watching. I'll probably be really excited to not be on the keyboard anymore. Preordain, we'll see. Snapcaster Mage, and I think that's a library. He hasn't made a land drop. Library not great here, but he hasn't made a land drop.
Yeah. Leo Paradox.
Mystical More, that was the thing you said would be quite good. Ben's gonna go look at his hand and say, I don't like it. I'm guessing that's gonna be and we have a reader.
I don't know how much reading that card is actually going to help you understand it. Wording on that. No, that's the Moto version now.
Upon reading, he has chosen to Pyroblast the Mystical More, which I believe is the play by a long shot. This is a card, especially against a control deck. It's just like there's a good chance you're going to draw at least one, probably two or three. Especially if you're drawing really slowly, just like, yeah, I'll sink all my mana into this. Back to Ben. I'll just pass it back.
Probe.
Here's a probe. Paying life, doing it the hard way.
Snapcaster Mage.
Preordain. Stony Sun. It's so reprint. Stony Sun. Sense of fate. Interesting that he chose not to misstep there. He's revealed the misstep. I think just showing my hands. But the plan right now, it seems, is we're going to preordain, we're going to find a mana source. Or we're going to find air. We're going to cast that air. We're going to get 7 cards.
And then start.
The best step to be
Step
back.
And also just.
Because he needs to be able to draw gas here.
Yeah. And just also be able to get closer to library. You don't want to throw cards away. I think library is the most powerful card he has right now. Doing anything. Another preordain, I think.
That's another preordain. Stormcast. Might have to apply a sleeve policy in the future. Or like buy lights. Matt sleeve. Keeps them both on top, likes them. Card goes. Oh wait, this card goes. No, that card. Wait.
The relook.
This will be our second relook on the match. I think he just drew the. Oh,
Nope.
relook. Okay, now.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a C. Ben's got probe of his own, which of course he will cast, doing it the hard way. Be a paradoxical and opal, force of will, a dig through time, and a flusterstorm.
Nice moves. Good old snipping tool.
It's the best. The best thing about the snipping tool is my work computer is slow, so it thinks that I searched nip, and then it Googles that, and then that shows up in my search history at work.
Very nice. I avoid that problem by just using print screen and MS Paint.
Bender or recall. He's going to enable his library. The thing he's been wanting to do for a few.
For this game's just been kind of posturing. Both players are really trying to get their feet under them, resource-wise. From what I can see, Ben Oh,
The Lotus
All
swings
right.
things along.
Could be. And there's okay.
Tango pulse.
All right.
Off now.
I think he's live now.
This isn't great paradoxical, but it is paradoxical. Here, obey. Cast force of will.
All right.
And there's the paradoxical. That's going to be at x equals 3. We have a 4 mana in session.
That generates mana.
I believe
And
from
storm.
what we know about Ben. So yeah, at 2 mana. Which is probably too good for stuff.
Yeah, certainly.
Ben's marking stuff down, but I don't think he has anything. No, he doesn't have a response right now.
He's got recall.
That card's good, but that card has
I think
text.
this recall gets forced because he already had a what we know.
It's only 3. Let's see. What's the plan? We have multiple storm counters now. Storm counters 3 and also 3.
That custom mage for the blast.
Oh, wow. Can't believe we missed that. Why Ben is in the Invitational and we're over here.
Yep.
Joke's
Definitely sometimes forget that library has that other mode of actually tapping for mana.
on. Why would you do that? You can't draw cards with it. And there's the
There's force.
I mean, you know that's coming, so I think you just have to stay reactive force and the blue card.
And then hope he doesn't hit
I mean,
anything super good on the.
Ben gets a 2/1. And
Yeah.
Cabal therapies.
Yep.
That's not terrible. Oh, actually, look, Patrick is forcing the Snapcaster Mage, not the Paralysis.
Knows he's got nothing.
It also means Ben hasn't actually named the target. I mean, he probably did. But he didn't have to.
He deciding what to style. Foster Storm.
Interesting choice. Against the control. Go correctly.
Guys, storm is 5.
Ooh, not gonna do this. Fancy. Okay. Good.
Get the setup. Don't fucking cross me, bitch.
Going okay.
Little red light doesn't mean that we've been muted this whole
No,
time.
that means that we are not muted.
Good, good.
So a handful of artifacts get played, some of which we've seen. Storm counts up to 9. There's our
Dig through time.
Gonna exile some really good cards here.
Yeah. Yeah, his graveyard is packed.
Which is unfortunate. Is he playing? I believe he is playing Bargain, right?
Not
Bargain,
or
Will.
yeah.
Yeah, he was playing Will, so that's a lot of good stuff to not be able to Will.
Yeah.
He has no more mana flow. But you could still paradoxical for. He gets 4 mana floating.
No, he's got nothing. Yeah, you're right.
Probably not.
And they chose the tendrils.
There you go.
And I don't know how many drills that was, but it was 10. It was 12. It was 12 drills. Stupid streaming software won't let me auto center the life token.
Mm-mm.
I got to space it.
That was interesting. We really went from Ben drawing a lot of cards and not letting anything happen to Ben drawing a fair amount of cards and not doing anything.
Yep, just dying.
Drawing cards is usually pretty good.
I like drawing cards. It's one of my favorite things. You want to talk about sideboarding more, or we can just talk about these beers we're drinking. They're going to be a couple minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what
Ben is not even going
changes.
Ben is not even going into his sideboard. Patrick looked and I think changed the card.
Yeah.
You want us to be doing something with those Lurgoyfs?
No, they were in my box of tokens.
I wasn't sure if we were supposed
Those
to
are the Ben Perry Lurgoyfs.
Oh, okay, there we go.
But yeah, did you read them?
Not yet. Did he blank them out? Okay, I'll check.
I'm surprised he doesn't board in more Pyroblast.
He's only got 3 blasts in the 75, right?
Yeah.
Well, we saw Pyroblast and we saw Red Blast. The two of the
So
three.
he's got at least one already in. I would assume both of them. Oh, that was him. Not both of them.
Yeah, and he is the Red Blast because it's Alpha Sound.
Yeah, I don't blame
Yeah, I mean, you obviously.
him. My match was not been really exciting cast. I didn't really do much after turn 1.
That's what I'd be afraid of if I was on stream ever. Is just like be the worst match because I just have the worst luck.
All of my bizarres were dead. They were
So
all
because I've arranged previous invitationals we've done, what I did in both of them was I chose 2 decks, then had everyone send me theirs, and then I chose a deck based on what would be interesting to watch, not what would be good. And so I played 2-card Beauty and 5-color stacks, just based on what would be interesting to watch, not what would be good. Someone played Dredge.
I mean, it's fine. Second survival match. Turn 1, double hollow 1. Game 2, turn hollow 1, bench 1.
Yeah. We thought that when you went Hollow 1 in game 1 of the feature match, that things were looking pretty good, but then you just you didn't have
I
anything
didn't
else.
draw
Yeah,
anything.
nothing else.
I still haven't seen a survival in 4 games.
Right? Namesake of the deck if you can't draw it.
I thought the namesake of the deck was Bizarre and the Hollow One.
Basking Root Wall of
it's
Stomping.
good, but the problem is,
So I think it's worth noting here that while they are mulliganing, we are now under 9 minutes in the round, which I think very much favors Patrick.
Yep.
Unless Ben
his turn is
unless he has a turn 1 mentor, he just doesn't have enough turn. Man, this drinking beer and commenting on Magic and not having to lose any games. This is a life.
Pretty fun.
Except for the part where I woke up at 5 a.m. and hauled all this shit.
We appreciate it. Players.
My one upgrade for next time is to bring my TV and put it on the other side of these so everyone can all see it. So,
Lights on this table help you too.
force on the recall. I actually have lights in here.
I mean, it's not bad. We all know what the cards do. So, and being able to pull them up is really helpful.
So force fetching preordained there. Interesting. A lot of times we talk about force on recall being really bad.
Like get going for it.
You're going for chase. Nope, recall obviously not. And well, that makes the and there's a miss.
That card was built to do. Counter ancestral recall. Ooh,
There's a Flusterstorm. Ouch.
2 blue floating.
On the Lotus. Using the Lotus, right? So
He's
draw those
trying
cards.
to go under now.
Yeah.
Right? 4.
I like that they're both keeping storm counters.
Soul Ring. Soul Ring Preord. No, Soul Ring Ponder. Soul Ring.
Mana Roll.
Got a lot of mana.
Yeah,
6.
If he has paradoxical,
He's
off for the races. Well, be for 2, you'd have to hope to draw like a sapphire or something.
Yeah, but it's still mana positive.
Oh, he's got it, yeah. He's have like 2 floating,
No blue floating. Would have
1 colorless.
1 colorless. Right. 4 and 7.
Yeah, I need another thing for next time is these dice. And get some dice in all colors.
Yeah, so
These
that way
dice
you've
are
got
like
all of the mana
$2
counters.
a die.
Play that. 4, 2.
If he doesn't have it here, he's got to do the calculation of how much stuff do I want to play out and how much do I want to bring to the next. I would have thought you would want to release the Soul Ring.
He passed.
He did pass. And he's picking up his deck.
They're definitely trying to play faster.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
No.
We're just shortcutting things very quickly. Yeah. So we fetched and merchant scroll for force as well. Yep. Another fetch out of Patrick. This is playing high stakes fast magic now, baby. 5 mana. Plus, they are just under 5 now.
That was the best part of the game. I had no cards.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
That's when you do like not recall.
Not recall. That's recall.
My hand at that point was
It was like just nothing on this.
my hand was
Yeah.
my hand is
Shuffles for you.
Yeah.
So I have nothing. Like,
But you also lose when you run out of clock.
Like I was gonna take it for top. I was like flying.
Ah.
The preordained Patrick. But we won't see 2 cards. Patrick.
That was a really insane session. That I was like, I can't think 3 kind of cards.
I know it's tough to get camped up for the kids, but that makes it's really tough.
Most of this equipment is shit that was on my desk. Back to and he's got a red blast. That's a solid thing for him. He's got a straight line, which I think he probably
Sounds
wants
like
to
you probably just fire that off.
I think the only reason not to use that is if you like are really worried that he's gonna just draw a Tolarian and just go.
It's like maybe that's what it is.
Or for the white source, you were white source that as a white. Well, they put the clock in my go ahead and shoot off that. I will say, as a person who I believe that I play Magic quite quickly, I do find it frustrating when time becomes an issue. Suddenly people start preordaining in 5 seconds instead of 20.
Yeah.
Or a minute.
Or 2 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes.
And
All
then
right.
we look
Well,
Mana
at the
crit,
point that
that's a
you're
good draw.
the point that you're preordaining for 5 minutes, like I'm gonna go take a shit while you preordain. There's a Mana Bolt, Stormcast 2, Soul Ring 3.
All right. Will Ben's Red Blast. He has force backup.
yeah, red blast, force, blue card. But that's going to add to the storm count if you.
Yeah. I think you still like you have to try to bottleneck him.
He's got a paradox. Looks like he's got a recall. Recalls.
I mean, there's not that many blue white border cards in this deck.
But recall was the first thought. Best one.
Floats 5 colors. Paradoxical. 2 colors floating.
There's the Red Blast.
Mhm. Like clusters.
And one other.
Clusters.
See if they know the storm count now, because it's increased twice since they've updated the die. It's now storm count 5, 6.
I think he's got to force that. He's got 2 cards in hand.
You guys.
Not sure how much that will matter with Patrick having all that colorless mana. He does invest the mana to untap the mana credit, or a mana pool, which is interesting. And he rolls off to the side, but okay. Back to Ben. Ben's got a Pearl passes. Untaps, he's got all of his mana available to him. Lost the roll, going to 14. Tight game, tight game. Let's go into overtime. It's a free magic. Fetch for the turn. Here's another spin.
Like you won that one.
So that will be time of the round. We're on turn 0. I believe we are on Patrick's end step. Unlucky timing on that.
Yep, that was his end step. So that's not turn 1.
I wonder if that will work. Oh, it does work. There's a mentor. He's going to have to cast a lot of spells for that. He has a Pearl. He can start doing a fair amount of damage now. Oh no, I do not like that sequencing. I think you want to play the Pearl.
Make a guy.
Hard cast force. Awesome. Awesome to the max. It does require 2 blue. There's the force. Ben went to his life pad and was like, oh no.
That doesn't have.
Not one that's quick.
I mean, he still probably goes for the box. Still better than.
Yeah, for sure. He won his
Patrick wins the roll on the mana crypt.
The 1 is guaranteed.
Patrick could definitely still win.
Patrick's going straight for a storm counter, so he definitely thinks he might have something. Do this thing where you have a 10-minute
10-minute turn.
4 mana,
Small paradoxical.
7, 8. 7 on a red. The red probably doesn't matter. But he is keeping track of it. There's the blue. So we go to 1 red. That'd be 4 colorless. Storm count is infinite.
Meet the library.
He draws.
That's
Yeah, it's a snow-covered island. There's a Ruby. He's gonna we'll replay all the mana. And keep in mind that the storm count actually does matter in this deck because of Mind's Desire. Just getting to 10 does not necessarily mean that you are done counting storm. The thing that has come up with us before.
Yeah.
At a Houston event, I desired for 30.
That seems pretty good.
I won that game.
If you don't cast your whole deck,
I took a picture. It took all of my dice.
If you don't win Mind's Desiring for 32, you should stop playing Magic.
Well, you should learn about Bizarro Storm.
If that's not the rest of your deck.
So, Tweety, have you seen Bizarro Stormy? It's a Legacy Reanimator deck that plays Magus of the Mind. I have exiled like 40 cards that can be cast for free on turn 1.
God, that's gross.
It's beautiful. I'll send you some Magus of the Mind. I have about 90.
Dude, I want to play this.
I see someone in the chat says PO is a dumb card. I think that is a correct opinion.
I mean, it's blue and it says draw a card on it.
Yeah,
it's probably
it's
too good.
It's
Yeah,
blue and it says draw a card. It might as well have small.
insane card.
I can't tell. I think that's a snow covered island. Oh, that's a
Very
totally. That's ouch.
A little bit better.
That's GG. As long as
It's an island.
offside. It's got a force.
There's the Mind's Desire.
That's desire for 7.
The desire for 7. And I know when we were building the Reanimator Match of the Mind, 7 was the number where you would rather desire than have Grizzle. And given the choice between Grizzlebrand and like if what he's doing is better than Grizzlebrand,
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
solid shot. Now I believe we would probably be shortcutting this, so we do have to shuffle between each instance of this. But there's a good chance there's a paradoxical. It only matters if you use like a mystical tutor, so most people will allow you to short. There's a paradoxical.
Boy.
I think there's actually an argument for casting the paradoxical with the 1 left on the stack to draw some cards, just to thin it out. Mystic Remora, I think that's purely for Storm. We're going to cast all the cards in our hand. We can still desire again one more time because we haven't seen Will yet. We have seen Statcaster. He was exiled for free.
Oh.
That's gonna scoop it up.
And that's it.
Yeah. I mean, Patrick didn't have that.
So
win
does that
con ready,
qualify as a turn 2 kill since it's on turn 2 of turns? Is that how that works? Very cool game. Rough, especially game 2 for Ben.
Yeah, we gathered that.
Well, especially when Ben flopped down his hand and there was a flush storm. I was like, well, wait. Yeah, that's a great game one for Ben. A mediocre game 2 for both of them. And I don't know what game 3 was. What was game 3?
I mean, if time wasn't a factor, it just seems like Patrick had a better. He just had more resources.
I think so,
like,
because
you know,
time was a factor. Patrick was also a lot more aggressive than he might have otherwise been.
Well, that's just the nature of that paradoxical deck. Like, you just win out of nowhere, like pretty easily. Like, we said seemingly win out of nowhere. Like, obviously you have to sequence and set up properly. Like sometimes you just need that one piece, and when you do draw it.
So that was our last match. Let's go to a break for just a short moment.
Sounds good.
Because I need to use the restroom because there's a whole bunch of beer here. And there's a bunch of people talking 1 foot that direction.
Yeah.
So we will be back momentarily. Stay tuned. We'll be probably 1:10. See you Tuesday.
Yeah. Sounds